Hey guys, it's Rob, and I have a new video, and haven't put out a video in a while, and the reason is that I've been working on this a lot. I've been trying to figure this out because there's something going on with YouTube and things, because I noticed that the view counts drop. It seems like the closer I get to the truth, the harder it is to get people to see it. So, anyways, I decided to spend the last week or so just working. I've been working on this every day, trying to make sure that I'm getting it right, trying to find out what this all means and stuff like that. And I have a lot of success with that right now, actually. And that's what I'm going to try and show you today. I'm just trying to show you guys the truth. The truth, it just can't be beat. But I'll tell you what, the this deception that's going on in our science and stuff like that, or in our reality, is putting up a hell of a fight. I can tell you that right now because I've never experienced anything quite like this. This is actually really simple to see what I'm showing you, and then so I'm surprised when like a geologist says that he doesn't care about satellite images. Well, that's because you don't care about it because it discredits what you believe in. Is why. So you're picking and choosing what evidence you'll use to support your theory, and you can't do that. That's a big failure in science to do that. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys this ridge right here. They call this the Southwest Indian Ridge, and they believe it does the same thing as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is right here. They believe that it's spreading. They believe this is spreading a lot slower than this one. And I want to show you that this cannot be a ridge. If there's any spreading going on here, it's because of other reasons than what they think. And I want to prove that because in plate tectonics, there's one thing that, and I don't mean to preach, so I hate doing that, but I have to explain these things for people to understand that in plate tectonics, reoccurring patterns cannot be. Plate tectonics is based upon randomness and destruction, and what they think is for some reason that the plates are being pushed apart here by magma and convection, but only here, and is spreading this way, pushing these continents around that sit on top of the plates. And then what happens is the plate gets destroyed in a subduction zone like this. What they claim is a subduction zone. This. None of this adds up, though, when you really think about it. Okay, how does pushing the plates this way push this one up here? Stuff like that. The other thing is the seafloor spreading is occurring east and west, right? So it just doesn't make sense. But then they come up with these elaborate reasonings, and none of it really, it just makes it more difficult to understand what the hell they're trying to tell you. So there can be no reoccurring pattern. The only reoccurring pattern that they could have is what used to be what they claim at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge that's spreading. So they think that maybe this and this is a reoccurring pattern, but they don't even fit, really. Not very good, at least. And so with that, I want to show you that this ridge is not just a ridge. It's more than that. And you'll see why. Okay, I'll just start off with one of the most obvious reasons why this is not just a ridge. And that's because you can see the ridge right here. I've taken different angles of the ridge. And right off the bat, when I reverse North America, you can see how it fits right in there. You can see right there. You can see that Yellowstone Park is related to these areas, these cloudy looking areas right here. Because this is Yellowstone Park right here. And if I move it around, you can see that it's related. If it swoops around, you can see that it's almost like turbulence behind it. That right there, that should be enough. Believe it or not, that should be enough. But that's okay that it's not, because there's a hell of a lot more I can show you. Look, even if I get the angle right, if I rotate this, watch, like that, and then you can see that that fits in there. Not only does it fit in there, but you got markings on here that line up with markings on here, which proves that these two were attached. Look, you can tell that this is part of this, or maybe not. Maybe it's this part right here, actually, these mountains. But you could tell that that was attached there. Now, how does plate tectonics account for this? It doesn't. It ignores it. It's going to ignore it. They're going to ignore it. Any geologist that comes onto my site right now is going to pretend that this is meaningless. But how can that be? How could it possibly be meaningless when I'm showing you that these match up? It's not like a trickery or some bad photography or whatever. They match up. They match up because they were attached. They're exactly what I'm claiming. And the evidence just keeps supporting it because it's the truth. That's how the truth works. It rings true under the tightest scrutiny. And that's what I'm going with. That's how I defeat people that try to debate me on this. And then they usually just blow me off and pretend that none of what I said had any value whatsoever. And then they you know what I'm saying? They can't beat me, so then they pretend that it's just, it's crazy talk, whatever. But look, not only does that line up there, you look right here at the tip of Africa, and look, it lines up here too. So how could it line up at both places if I'm wrong? It can't. It's impossible. It's impossible for me to be wrong on this. Look at right here. That's Yellowstone Park. Well, it fits right in here, along with this, and you could tell that it's just moved a little bit, and it fits there too. And then look right here. You could tell that this is moving around. That's why look, you can see that at one time it was here. You can see that matches right there. Then you could tell that it was here. Then you could tell it was here. Because you could see it's this pointed triangular spot right here that gives it away. This is part of the creation of our planet. This has to be the creation of our planet because other features around the world are lining up with it. But look, you can see that this rotates, but this whole thing is spinning is what it is. This is spinning. Look at, as I put this here, then this is how the truth works. You look over here, and you got alignments here too. The East Coast. Mississippi River lines right up there too, because all the features on our planet are actually related to one reoccurring pattern. And this looks like a lightning bolt right there, because I'm claiming that that's an electrical discharge pattern, and it's matching up with a lot of things now. Look, because here's Yellowstone Park, and this whole area right here, the Grand Canyon. Now look, there's the tip of Africa. You see how that fits in there? Because the tip of Africa will also fit in here. So it's gonna, all these things, when they fit in one area, they're all gonna fit each other too at the same time. And this is how I prove that I'm right. Because look at how many matches I can make right here. Plate tectonics can't do anything like this. And this is just observable. But they can make up a lot of different stuff to try to explain something that should be really simple to explain. And look how it fits again right here, all the way down to here. You can see that something is responsible for making this whole thing. One thing is. Yeah, if my theory wasn't right, I wouldn't rely on satellite imagery either, because then I wouldn't have a theory anymore, because this destroys it. It does 100%. And this is why you got this is why you have people like Seahawks, just attacking me as a person, because he can't debate this, because he looks foolish when he tries to, because he is foolish. Now this is just the beginning of what this does, by the way. Wait till you see what else. Now let me show you what happens when I flip North America around the other way, and I put this in here. You'll see that Florida's right here. I'll fit this point into there. Then you can see that there's that ridge right here. When I move it back and forth, you'll see that it lines up with the Mississippi, Florida. You'll see that it curls around. But that's okay, because you got these marks. Well, they think that these marks were made by glaciers that came down from the Ice Age. But I could show you that whatever created this ridge created these marks. So glaciers had nothing to do with it. And then when I line this up here, you can see that this rotates around in here, by the way. It just does. You can easily see that. But you can see the markings on Florida also. You got, it's hard to do this. There's a straight line running through Florida. You can see that obviously it's related to that. Just that simple. I mean, it's that easy. When all that lines up, you look over here at Yellowstone Park again, and all this. And then you bring it here, you can see they match up. They match up with this discharge pattern. I'm claiming this is an electrical discharge pattern because I know it is. See how that just fits in there? And then, but what's trippy, if you don't think that is responsible for these features here, we'll just take a look at this. Where'd it go? You got this with this, what looks like a tip or nipple or a point, and you got the same thing right here, just like that. See? How many coincidences can I get before people start to realize that this isn't coincidence anymore? Because you look around and you can see the other features lining up too. You got this. As I put that in, it lines up, because they're related. There's no getting around this. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny that I've had to argue this for this long, but that's why I'm doing this video, and I spent the time the last week and a half just going through this, trying to figure out a way to end the arguing, or the people that don't believe me, because I'm running out of time here to get the truth out. I can tell the clock is ticking down on me. But look, you can see it. If you can see it, they can see it. Okay, so that's that. Okay, this will just be part one, because this is going to take way too long to do the whole thing, because there's a lot of evidence I have to go through, and you're not going to believe what I can do with that ridge. But just to show you something cool, so that you'll want to see the next video. Here is the Himalayas right here. They claim it's made from a collision in India. And I'm telling you, it's not made by a collision, because if it was, well, for one, that wouldn't fit in there like that. You see how that fits in there? And if that didn't get you, then there's always this right here and that. You see that? That's an exact alignment. That's not maybe or. But then on top of that, here's the Himalayas with its reoccurring pattern right there. How could I possibly know this if I was wrong? See, even that aligns. You can see right here with the how would I be able to match that up if I was wrong? And that's nothing. Wait till you see what else I can do with what I guess what would be called my theory. Plate tectonics could never find this, because this can't be possible, because there's plates under here. Why would this line up here if there were plates under there? Well, there are no plates under there. There can't be. That's what I'm trying to show people. Here's that overspill. You can see that the markings here line up with it. And then what lies under the overspill is this. Anyways, I hope that this is starting to make sense, because it's important that you guys know, that we all know the truth. But I have a lot more coming out, and you haven't seen anything yet. This gets crazy. I'll see you later. Thanks.